Families would come, rest and leave. Truckers would take a break and continue their journey. But this 10-year-old child was different. He never left. He'd been sitting on the same bench for 3 months, and every time someone asked, he gave the same answer. My mom and dad are coming back right now. But what if the truth was they would never return? I recommend you watch this story to the end because the reality is much darker than you could imagine. Don't forget to subscribe because mysterious stories like this are on our channel every week. In the middle of the Arizona desert, in one of the most desolate sections of Route 66, stood the Desert Rose Rest Stop. Despite its name being more glamorous than its appearance, it was actually just a small rest area with a few tables, clean restrooms, and vending machines. Sarah Martinez had been working as a cleaning attendant at this facility for 15 years. She would arrive every morning at 6 a.m. and return home every evening at 6 p.m. Sarah, who knew her routine well, had seen all kinds of travelers, families going on vacation, late truckers, motorcycle enthusiasts, lost tourists. But in the second week of August, she noticed something. A small child was sitting on one of the wooden benches in the outdoor area. Maybe 10 years old, brown-haired, cleanly dressed. He had a small backpack in his hand and a plastic water bottle beside him. When Sarah first saw him, she thought the child's family was in the restroom or getting food. But when she checked again during her lunch break, the child was still there. Same place, same position. "Hello, sweetie," Sarah said gently. "What happened to your family?" The child looked at her. There was a strange calmness in his eyes. "My mom and dad are coming back right now," he said in a calm voice. Sarah looked around. She couldn't see any vehicle that could have dropped off the child. "When will they return?" "They're coming back right now," the child repeated, as if hearing the question for the first time. Sarah was uncomfortable, but maybe the child's family was really nearby. Maybe the child was scared and couldn't give a clear answer. The next day when Sarah came to work, the child was there again. Same bench, same position, same calm facial expression. This time, Sarah decided to be more careful. She observed the child throughout the day. The child never got up, never ate, never talked, just sat. He would occasionally smile at people passing by, but never tried to chat with anyone. At noon, the Johnson family arrived. Mother, father, and their 7-year-old daughter, Emily. Emily noticed the child. "Mom, why is that kid sitting alone?" Mrs. Baker looked around. "His family's probably nearby, sweetie. Let's not interfere." But Emily was curious. She approached the child. "Hi, I'm Emily. Who are you?" The child looked at her and said the same sentence. "My mom and dad are coming back right now." "Well, what are you waiting for?" "My mom and dad are coming back right now." Emily was surprised. It was as if the child couldn't say anything else. The Johnson family was uncomfortable and quickly left the rest stop. Sarah had heard this conversation and was beginning to worry. When her evening shift ended, she spoke with Mike Henderson, the security guard at the facility. "Mike, there's something about that child. He's been here for 2 days, no word from his family." Mike was in his 50s, a retired police officer. He knew how to handle such situations. "I'll watch him more carefully tomorrow," he said. "If the situation looks serious, we'll call social services." On the third day, Mike Henderson began observing the child closely. The child was really strange. He sat in the same place all day, didn't have real conversations with anyone, just repeated that one sentence. Mike decided to talk to the child. "Hello, son. I'm Mike, the security guard here. What's your name?" The child looked at him. "My mom and dad are coming back right now." "Yes, but I want to learn your name. Can you tell me your name?" This time, the child thought a little. "David," he finally said. This was a small development. Mike continued. "Nice to meet you, David. How long have your parents not come?" "My mom and dad are coming back right now." "David, how many days have you been waiting here?" The child seemed confused. "I don't know. My mom and dad are coming back right now." Mike now understood the seriousness of the situation. He went to the office computer and began examining the security camera footage from the past week. The first shock came here. According to the records, no one had dropped off the child at the rest stop in the past week. The child seemed as if he had never come, as if he had always been there. Mike went further back with the recordings. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. Finally, he found it. In the recordings from 12 weeks ago, the child was sitting on the same bench again. Mike's hand began to tremble. This child had been here for 3 months. Mike immediately called the police station. Soon, 2 police officers arrived, Detective Lisa Walsh and Officer Ryan Brooks. "Explain the situation, Mike," said Detective Walsh. Mike told everything he knew. He showed the security recordings. "This child has been here for 3 months. No one brought him, no one came to pick him up." Detective Walsh approached the child. "Hello, David. I'm Lisa, a police officer. Can I talk to you?" David looked at her. "My mom and dad are coming back right now." "David, what's your family's last name?" "Where do you live?" "My mom and dad are coming back right now." Detective Walsh was patient. "David, listen to me. You're safe. No one will hurt you. But we need to find where your family is. Will you help us contact them?" This time David thought longer. Our house is far away. We were taking a car trip." "Which city were you coming from?" "I don't know. My mom and dad are coming back right now." Officer Brooks wanted to examine the child's backpack. "David, what's in your bag?" "Can we look?" David nodded. Inside were a few clothes, a small toy car, a photograph, and a note. The photograph showed David with a young couple. The note was written in childish handwriting. "My mom and dad told me to wait here. They're coming back right now." Detective Walsh looked carefully at the photograph. "David, are these your mom and dad?" "Yes, my mom and dad are coming back right now." "When did they say they would come back?" "Right now." This word "right now" was constantly repeated. It was as if David's perception of time had been distorted. Police took David to the hospital. Dr. Janet Coleman examined the child. He was physically healthy but showed signs of malnutrition. He also showed psychological signs of trauma. "This child has been neglected for a long time," said Dr. Coleman. "He may have memory problems or may be unable to speak other than certain sentences due to extreme stress." "What about that photograph? Could it be his real family?" asked Detective Walsh. Dr. Coleman looked at the photograph. "Possible. But I need to understand why this child has been waiting alone at a rest stop for 3 months. Social services placed David in a temporary foster home. But the investigation continued. Detective Walsh searched for David's case in the missing persons database. There was no missing child report named David in the past 6 months. She ran the photograph through the facial recognition system. The result was shocking. The couple in the photograph had died in a car accident in Nevada 4 months ago, Michael and Susan Carter. They had a child seat in their vehicle, but no child was found at the time of the accident. Detective Walsh examined the Carter family file. Michael Carter was 35, Susan Carter was 32. Their young son, David Carter, was 10 years old and should have been in the car on the day of the accident, but the child's body was never found. Police had assumed the child had survived the crash and disappeared. Now the truth was understood. David's family really wouldn't come. They had died 4 months ago. Detective Walsh examined the accident report in more detail. The Carter family was moving from California to Colorado. They were using Route 66. The accident had occurred only 50 miles from Desert Rose Rest Stop. Walsh went to re-examine the accident site. She searched the area with Officer Brooks. About 200 meters from the road, among the bushes, there was an old camping area. Empty cans, plastic bottles, and children's clothing. "This is it," said Walsh. "David lived here after the accident." Brooks examined the surroundings. But how did he survive? How did he feed himself? In the nearby area, there were food scraps thrown away from the rest stop, tourist litter. David had probably survived on these. "But why did he come to the rest stop?" asked Brooks. Walsh thought, maybe his family told him something. Where to wait if he got lost? A special child psychologist was brought to talk to David. Dr. Amanda Torres. She was a hypnotherapy and trauma specialist. After a few sessions, David began to remember the truth. "Our car flipped over," David said, crying. My mom and dad weren't moving. They were bleeding a lot, Dr. Torres gently continued. What happened next, David? I got out of the car. My mom and dad were sleeping. I tried to wake them up, but I couldn't. Where did you go then? My mom had told me. If I got lost, I should wait at the rest stop on Route 66. She said, sit there, we'll find you. The truth was emerging in this memory. David's mother had told him this as a safety measure. But since David couldn't understand that his family had died, he had followed the instructions literally. He had waited at the rest stop for 3 months because his mother had said, you should wait. The sentence, my mom and dad are coming back right now, was David's way of comforting himself. Under the influence of trauma, he couldn't accept the truth. David's story caused great reaction in the local media. Distant relatives of the Carter family came forward and wanted to take custody of David. Finally, David was placed with his aunt Patricia Carter. Patricia was a teacher living in Nevada and was ready to raise David. Therapies continued. David slowly learned to accept the truth. He no longer said, my mom and dad are coming back right now. Instead, he said, my mom and dad can't come anymore, but they love me. Today, David is 13 years old. He's living a happy life with his aunt. He has largely overcome the trauma. That bench at Desert Rose Rest Stop is now known as David's Bench. The management put a small memorial plaque in David's honor. To the child who never lost hope. But this story teaches us important lessons. First, children can have incredible resilience against trauma, but they need the right help. Second, sometimes the simplest explanations are the most accurate. David wasn't missing. He was just following instructions literally. Third, we need to pay attention to each other as a society. Thanks to people like Sarah Martinez and Mike Henderson, David was saved. But there are still unanswered questions. How did David survive for 3 months? Where did he find food? Where did he sleep at night? Why didn't security cameras see David in the early days? Could he really have been there unnoticed for so long? And most importantly, are there other Davids? Could there be other lost children waiting on long highways like Route 66? These questions may never be answered, but David's story shows this. Sometimes the most extraordinary stories are hidden in the most ordinary places. Do you think there are other clues we missed in this story? Share your thoughts in the comments. And remember, when traveling on Route 66, pay attention to your surroundings. Maybe you can notice someone waiting too. Don't forget to subscribe because mysterious true stories like this are on our channel every week. See you in the next video.